And happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to February the 1st here in the province of Ontario, Canada, as we get set for 10 races this evening here from WOMO. And are you ever in for some nice weather if you're living here in this region? I promised that it would happen once we turn the calendar over to February the 1st, and it was a beautiful, balmy -6 today. It's about -9 to compete right now as the sun starts to set. We have an open trot that's getting ready to go as race number 9 on the card. Pop-up series action is going to start tonight as well. A reminder that we had canceled last Sunday's program due to a really bad snowstorm that we had. So a lot of horses will have missed a week of action, and they'll be back in to go here tonight. We'll bring in Hall of Famer Randy Waples as we have a lot to talk about tonight, sir, because there was some big hardware given out last night with the O'Brien Awards. We were watching it here live. Got a chance to see all the horse awards, but I think our last race went before the humans got their awards.
That's true, Mrs. 4 out of 5.
Thanks again.
Gary,
story
where
of my
are you?
life.
Where are you, Gary? I need you.
Gary's still out there,
Gary.
I think.
Yeah, a 405 for Miss Below last night in the late pick 5. Almost got it done.
It's
for
the
sure.
story of my life.
Yeah, and as you alluded to, you and I here minding the fort, and everybody down in London
Yes,
having a good
old time.
dressed all up, eating food and drinking, and
yep.
us here absolutely toiling away.
I know. Well, that's sometimes the pain we have to endure, Randy.
This is it.
But you know what? We were able to watch it, which was great to be able to watch the feed and cheer everybody on. And I don't think too many big surprises last night at all.
No.
The right people and the right horses.
Seems like the right situation
seem to have
showed
got
up.
some of their awards. We'll take a look back at last night's award winners, starting with the 2-year-old fillies and. A Clean Deal, Chantilly, Sylvia Hanover. Again, just the horses that we figured were the ones to win.
Yeah, I mean, all of them had a great year on the pace, and they're all pretty well logical. The 2-year, the fillies didn't seem to be much of an issue on the pace. Some of the fish on the trot, there was a couple. There was a couple that was going to be a tough race. I think that the fillies was pretty well, the way that it's supposed to.
And
look at that.
Here's some of the best dressed from last night as well. I thought our gang cleaned up pretty good.
I would say that's for sure. I was wondering if maybe somebody might invite me down to the picture, but I wouldn't have looked nearly as good. There, that's for sure. Yeah, look at that. Oh, Griff
he doesn't miss a picture, does he?
No, I'll say. I've got a feeling there if he decides to make a game of this or whatever, he'll probably have his picture taken a lot.
Kind of looks like a mini Greg Blanchard right there to
me.
me.
He kind of does. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And they were all dressed in red yesterday for Sylvia, which I thought was kind of fun. Like almost like they coordinated the whole thing.
Yeah. No, that's a really, really nice picture there too.
All right, let's take a look at some of the boys who won yesterday, including the superstar Bojangles, Crackshot, and Irvin Hanover. And once again, I mean, it was Bojangles and everybody else, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's just no way that anybody's going to be going to take any kind of a swing against him. That would be absolutely impossible. And another nice grouping there too.
Now, did you you and your fashion, you're kind of hit and miss on it, right? You did say that.
More miss.
I always thought you kind of dressed like Randy Travis. Remember Randy Travis, the country singer? You kind of dressed like him. What did you think about Doc Moore in the hunt coat? I thought it was quite lovely.
Oh, Doc always dresses up good. Yeah, for sure. Listen, they all look really good. It's just the problem that happens, though, is that soon as Randy puts something like that on, he don't look like that. He looks completely different.
You can dress him out, but you can't take him out.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. Oh, here's Crackshot. Oh, wow, Frank Brundle there. He glitzed it up with the sparkly blue jacket.
And then Irvin Hanover will be the last one that we'll look at here as well, in a big group to celebrate. And that's always fun. Look, it's a team effort for so many of these outfits, and to bring the entire barn out to celebrate, and the families associated as well, is fun.
Is it just me, or do you look at Larry Maneri as just waiting for the music to start?
Absolutely. That man's dance card was full. I would imagine, last night. Trotters, of course, Storybook Love, Stormont Beautiful, and Moji Hanover for the older mare category. And
Megan Walker in the present dating.
Yes. And again, we were talking about this. It used to be no kids award, right? Or awards night. It was, black tie. But they're starting to allow the families, and it's really kind of cute because I'll tell you what you are looking at in a lot of these situations is the next generation of
for
horse
sure.
people.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
And especially when it comes to this family.
Yeah, and what a beautiful picture, the two of them and their little boy or whatever, and then the name of the horse. Hey, storybook love. Well done.
Stormont Beautiful and the connections of her team.
Yeah.
And then one more to take a look at, and that's Emoji. Emoji Hanover.
That'll be the determination.
Yeah, they went up a couple of times last night
they did.
as well.
Yeah, they are all looking great up there as well too. And we got Leo Blay. I know that one. And this one, I'm guessing with the red tie, would that be Louis' son?
I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what. Look at Clive Cohen giving them the thumbs up.
Yeah,
so that's all
for
good
sure.
stuff. How about the Trottin' Boys? Strobe Light, the winner for 2-year-olds, Emoticon Legacy for 3-year-olds, and good old Logan Park for the older horse division.
Yeah, no, Strobe Light, big year for him, for Benoit. And Emoticon Legacy, definitely, he to me was the top trotter out there last year. In so many ways, I'm looking so much forward to see him come back as a 4-year-old, and then Logan Park too. So, real nice. Boy, talk about a great looking group of
I'm telling
people.
you, everybody cleaned up and looked fantastic, and now they're all back in their barn clothes today. Of course.
Yeah,
but the other
unbelievable.
good thing is nobody got stranded in London, like a couple of years ago where everybody got stranded in PEI. Everybody home and cooled out last night. And then as far as people were concerned, again, I think, your drivers could have gone either way. As we mentioned,
so.
James,
Yep.
of course, he won it.
Yep.
Yeah, but Bob McClure still, the guy's got to get a huge standing ovation for the season that he had. Doc Moore winning Trainer of the Year. You can see Mr. O'Donnell, of course, handing out the hardware for that one.
Boy, could I ever say something
I
salty and
knew it.
smart right now, but I'm not gonna
It's not me.
because I like them both too much. The Magic and Moore, but boy, could I ever go heavy right here, right now. Shut up, Randy.
James, of course, winning yet again. But again, we want to celebrate what Bob McClure did last year as well.
Yeah, hey, look at the guy presenting that trophy to Griffin.
There's a famous
I don't know
guy.
if he's ever won an O'Brien award.
You don't know?
But I got a feeling he's won a few awards in his life.
Doc Moore won for horsemanship last night too. Damian McClellan. Now, anytime somebody wins from out east, Sugar Doyle pops himself into the picture. He's just part of the hardware. But whenever somebody wins from Eastern Ontario, there's always a big contingency there to
Sugar's
celebrate
like the
too.
unofficial mayor from
I
out
think
there.
he is. He's the
I think so.
mascot.
He
The
is.
mascot.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
At Terra Hills. of
Oh,
course,
that was
winning.
nice to see Terra Hills. Yeah, for sure. Kind of a boutique operation, but getting more and more powerful. And what a year! What a year to breed a horse like Bojangles.
Yeah, exactly. They bred a superstar, and we are so excited to see Bojangles back in action again. Now, last night here at Mohawk, what happened? Well, the Cullens just kept things going. They won 3 races in a row. Again, exactly the same thing that they did on Friday night. They won 3 consecutive races. They came back and won 3 consecutive races yesterday evening as well, including a sweep of the Snowshoe Pacing Series for RB's Tenacious T. And then the shocker was Dublin Dasher, who won the open pace last night.
Dublin Dasher raced incredibly well, but that's 2 weeks in a row that horse has flashed huge speed on the end of it. I don't know what they've done different with him, but he certainly is enjoying his time at Mohawk right now. And for a guy very quietly, I didn't even realize that Trevor had won 4 races until Chad told me about it when he called me on the way home. And I said, who won the last race? He said, Trevor slipped up the inside for his 4th of the night. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, he won 4. And I'm like, oh my God. I never even put it all together. I didn't have Jabberwocky. I had Convoy 22, but the other 3 I wasn't using. So big night for Trevor Henry.
And big night with the carryover continuing to grow for the Jackpot High Five. It's now at $122,000 in change as we get ready for tonight's program. So let's get started with the handicapping. As mentioned, last week we did cancel this Sunday card. So there's a lot of horses, obviously, right back in the same races because we had those pop-ups that were getting ready to start. So the pop-ups are back tonight, and they will begin in the opener First race on the card for Pacers, get a field of 9, and very, very light on changes. Only one scratch on this evening's program so far, so that's a good thing. Better Be Going is the horse who's taking early support here right now for Paul Court. And if you were watching us the last couple of days, Paul Court had a winner on the Friday program, and he had a winner on yesterday's program as well, with a horse who was coming in off of a qualifier, and that qualifier was a pretty significant victory by about 7 lengths. Now he's got Better Be Going, a 10-year-old with just the one qualifier, but the qualifier happened with James McDonald, and we know he likes to save that gas in the tank for race night. And you had mentioned too yesterday when we were just talking off camera that you expect James to come in this evening and finish tonight with at least 4 wins.
I got him down to win 12 out of the 10 races. So this could be a big night for James McDonald. I know things have been kind of quiet in James' life, in the last year or so, not much happening. And maybe tonight it's all going to kind of come together for you, big fellow. So I
We're
hope
rooting
that,
for you.
Yeah, I hope that it's here, and I hope you're able to break that unlucky streak that's going on right now. So that being said, Better Be Going is definitely the way that I'm going to go. And like Elisa was saying, we've been noticing this a lot with Paul Court. Even if they have time off, and even if
It's just one qualifier.
just the one qualifier, they're live, and they win. And if they don't win, like Stonebridge Helios the other night had a month off with the one qualifier, come first over. And I think he finished 3rd or 4th, but not beaten much. If the trip was there, maybe he would have been a little bit better as well. So Paul Court's barn is very, very dangerous when it goes, when he brings these horses in here looking like they're kind of light. So let's take a look at the replay, because this guy is going to be my all-in for tonight. The guy that's missing a month of racing. December 14th, Paul Court claimed this guy out of the optional 15 at Flamborough Downs off of Will Perot. We've seen Will Perot bring this guy here before, Better Be Going. You can see his speed badge, both last year's, was a qualifier this year, and 53-3 over our track last year. He's a Better's Delight out of a Western Ideal mare, so that means that he is bred to get better and better as he gets older and older. So watch James here. This is the magic of McDonald. What I love watching him do, he never has to show horses off. He's just as happy to finish 2nd or 3rd in a qualifier, or 5th or 6th. It doesn't matter to him. But, the big fella's going to stride right along here and get the best of the Are You Kidding Me caddy, who's a fairly legitimate 40,000 claimer, So already I think Better Be Going is looking like he's going to be good in there. He knows how to win races, well over 20% last year. So I think all signs are pointing towards Better Be Going.
Well, a lot of these pop-up series races feature horses that are coming in from the B tracks, like Flamborough and Western Fair, which is why, in hindsight, not racing last Sunday was a great call, because there was no way we were going to get these horses to come in all the way from London. It is a very long ship from there to here. So we'll be watching some horses that we haven't really seen on this track lately competing in these pop-up races.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and it's not going to be no sale for Better Be Going.
No.
I mean, I think that Beach Tour, you got to take a real serious look at him. The only thing that scared me a little bit about him was he races December the 31st at London, where he finishes 3rd in the preferred, and then January the 16th he makes one start, and now here he is February the 1st. So basically, in 1 month's time he's had one start,
right.
And that makes me wonder, is he going to be coming in here cracking good?
Yeah, but he was entered last week.
Yes.
So again, for a lot of these horses, they were entered to go last week, but we didn't go. Let's go over to race number 2, second half of the early double. Non-winners of 15-5 in their last 4 starts. Our first trotting race of the evening, and we got some superstars in here, including one of our newest millionaires, and that is Perfetto. He went over $1 million, finishing 5th back on January the 18th, so he's going to be in this spot. Then you have Pemberton from the Julie Walker barn. Now, this guy, you'll see him in the open. I mean, he's been a lovely horse. He's made almost $700,000 from 21 career wins. His last start was a good one in behind Manoa.
He's funny kind of a horse, right? We all know him, the fact that he's got this vicious kick. If you don't use him, he has got a kick that is unbelievable. He'll lay you right on your back. He can kick so hard. Really, really nice horse. But every once in a while, they'll change things up with him, and they'll put him up front. They'll get him up close to the action and that, and he's able to handle it really, really well. but he's not able to handle it if he has to do it over and over and over again. So right now, he hasn't done that in a while. So that, to me, gives James options in here. He can go back and race him the way that he did last week, which we're going to show you, because we're going to show you the replay of Pemberton in his last short field here, or he can elect to kind of go the other way and power out of there a little bit too. So again, James, I'm looking at a James McDonald double, daily double, to open things up here. So let's take a look at Pemberton. And James McDonald sitting about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right now with the big fella. And right now we got Manoa out on a breakaway. And look how much ground he's got to make up on Manoa. And this is Manoa. This is no slouch that's out here, doing his trotting. Now here he's going to uncork this guy here. And here he's going to start to come. And he's going to go around a real nice group of horses. Like I said, that's Manoa out in front. He's not going to get to him. That's Devil's Arch down on the inside. I think
Ghostly
that's Kevin
Casper's
Anthony. Ghostly Casper coming. Bob ends up making a break with, I think, Safe Conduct or Spartan. But here comes Pemberton. Big movement on the outside. That was in non-winners of 12-5. He's going to come right back to that class. More or less the same group, except for Manoa, he's not going to have to face. He is going to have to deal with Devil's Arch in here, but he's not going to have to deal with Ghostly Casper. So I think that he's in a really, really good spot here.
Yeah, Devil's Arch is a horse who was in the McGuire barn and then got lost through the claim box, went into Osceola's barn for one start. It was a win, and then he was quickly claimed back by McGuire.
Yeah, he raced good last week. He had no answers for Manoa. But right now, there's not many that have answers for Manoa. So I think that, again, you're looking at maybe a 2-3 exactor in here.
All right, let's flip all the way over to race number 7. Sorry, we are going to do race number 3? Okay, we'll flip over to race number 3 to start the pick 4. First of a couple pick 4s on tonight's program. Back on the pace here for the third race. And this is another one of our pop-up series events tonight. Now, we have some horses in this spot that we know, that are sometimes or have been Woodbine Mohawk regulars, including Stone Carver. And, when Stone Carver is good, at least I've found over the years, he goes straight to the front end, and then he's gone, right? So he's here tonight after a win at Flamborough on January the 18th. But then you have the gal taking on the boys, and she looks tough from the Maneri barn. This is Madam X, another opportunity for James McDonald to get into the winner's circle again. In fact, he could, if things work out, win the first 3 races, and we haven't even got to the 4th race to tell you he might win the 4th race as well. I think Bill Davis is going to give him a hard time there. But Madam X, the mare taking on the boys, she looks tough, looking for 3 in a row.
Yeah,
or, sorry, 2 in a row.
Yeah, she does. And I mean, when I was talking to Dave last week there, she qualified good, but he wasn't 100% sure if she was going to be at her very, very best to get the job done that first asking. But, excuse me, she did get the job done first asking. And I thought she did it, more or less. I had her down as the best.
Right.
She leaves out of the 6 hole. There's move number 1, sits in the 2 hole, makes some other move around the last turn. There's move number 2. A horse kind of gets up close to her halfway down the lane, and then she takes off again. That's move number 3. I think that, that really showed a lot of ability there with her. And you go back to last year. I know it was last year, but still, she win in 51 flat over a 7/8 mile track.
Yeah.
That gives me good thoughts here. I know Stone Carver has a mark of 49, but last year he'd only win in 52, only 56 this year. I think she fits in there good.
Yeah, and she just happens to be coming out of a very, very strong outfit right now, the Dave Maneri barn. So that is race number 3. Now, we're going to go to the 5th race next. 5th race is winners of 3, not more than 5. And we're on the trot for the 5th race. And this, Travis Henry and Dave Maneri are going to combine here with the 1, and that's Chick Chalk Rose, who was second last start out. Now, James McDonald did drive this horse in the last start. You're going to see James going to the other Maneri horse, and that's Cover Band here. Cover Band was a winner 2 starts back on January the 16th.
Yeah, which way did you go?
I went to the other Maneri because it worked for me yesterday with the other Cullen, so I went to the other Maneri, Chick Chalk.
I got Chick Chalk Chuck Rosen for second, so not a bad pick in there as well. And I mean, Travis is going to, adjust well to her. He sets the trotter real well. I go cover band, so another win for James McDonald potentially. I thought that last week there, he raced really good. I just didn't think he had really much of an opportunity. It was a big jump up for cover band. He just started back racing good on these lower condition races. And then he comes up with a nice win, but again, at the very second bottom class that we offer for trotters. And then he takes a huge vault in against Manoa, Devil's Arch, Ghostly Casper, draws the 6-hole. He does have gate speed, but I always find that when the gate speed is used too much, then there's not as much kick on the end of it. So Travis Cullen last week decided not to go out of there with him, and it just didn't work out because as we seen, the big trotting was happening at the end of the mile. So if you were too far out of it, you just weren't going to be able to catch Manoa and those kinds of horses. So I thought it was a good effort last quarter, 27-1, and now he comes back to James, and I look at this as a huge drop down into this non-winners of 3, not more than 5. Yes, it's a tough class, but I don't think it's as tough as some of the other horses that he was having to face when he was racing in against straight condition horses. So cover band is the way that I am going to go, but I do like Chick Chuck Rose.
I don't mind that one either. So that is race number 5 as we go to the 7th race. 7th race is where we kick off the late pick 4. More pop-up series action for you in a field of 8 this time. And here's another opportunity for James to win again. Hound on the Beach looks really strong in this spot. And in fact, this is the first time we're going to see James driving Hound on the Beach. I'm not sure if I want to say ever, but certainly this is a horse who was competing down in the United States, came up to Flamborough, was a winner there, Gateswire fashion back on January the 11th, and now here tonight at Womo looking for the second win of the season. Yeah,
interesting. It looks like he must have took him off of, I'm thinking that he took him off of Cam Capone, Alexon LaRoche. I hope I'm not butchering your name. I'm horrible with names. I call myself Wapples all the time.
Oh, yesterday your dad got called
he got called
Wobbles.
That's right. Sometimes I call myself Waffles, so please take no offense. Claimed. It looks like he come up from Chester, from Philadelphia. Was not racing good down there at all, I thought, and came up here. I either claimed at some point or bought off of On Gate, but missed a month. December the 7th in Philadelphia, January the 4th, first start at Flamborough, and it's a good one. Ends up finishing 3rd in there, and then comes back with an even better one. And this time he does the chop, goes to the front. He doesn't show any kind of a chop or that ability in his other lines, but this time he goes to the front and lays it down for Jason Ryan. Look at the difference in the odds on Hound on the Beach. The first time that he raced at Flamborough, 12-1. The next time that he races at Flamborough in the exact same class, a week later, 70-cent winner. So everybody must have really liked him. That first start that he had, comes back on the 7-day rotation, does an even better job, in my opinion. I'm going to play against him. He is going to be, in my opinion, the horse to beat, especially picking up McDonald. That's only going to help things as well. But I'm going to go to Wild River Bumblebee. We're going to pick up the other O'Brien nomination here with Bobby McClure. And I think that I've always looked at Wild River Bumblebee. If I was going to price him, I'm probably looking like around maybe somewhere around the 25 to 30 range. And some of these other horses, like I said, racing in 20 conditions, I look at that more like a straight 10 to 12 claimer. So I think that Wild River Bumblebee has a better advantage. And again, I think he's been racing against much tougher horses than what some of these other ones have had to face. A lot of the horses that he has to race against continually race in that 30 to 40. So I look at him fitting there better. Now he's going to be taking on a horse that basically is winning a 12 to 15, say, straight, even though he could improve, but the Bumblebee is the way that I'm going.
Well, a lot of these horses were light in the win column last year, too. Wild River Bumblebee only had the one win last year, but so did a lot of others that are going to be in this race. For example, Hound on the Beach, just a one-time winner from 25 starts back in 2025. Let's go to race number 8, the next trotting race on the card. Nominators of 6,000 in the last 4. And Ed and Ashley Hensley, they were up for an O'Brien last night for Caviar and Crackers, and they've got Sparks Fly here in this race, who looks like he's sitting on a win. He's had a couple of nice second place efforts. Could tonight be his night? Something
I would say that in my time here I always kind of looked at Ashley, and nothing against Eddie or anything like that, but I always see him with his driving suit on, the helmet on, the glasses on, you know what I mean? I always kind of thought to myself there that, geez, maybe Ashley's, she'd be looking like the one that's maybe bringing this relationship up a little bit, in the picture category. I'm going to tell you something there. Take a look at the O'Brien Awards and look at Mr. Ed Hensley cleaned up in the tuxedo beside Ashley. I mean, they both look amazing. Eddie looks like he could be going out for James Bond. Hey, does he ever look suave there? I'll tell you, do you want to talk about a horseman that cleans up well? Mr. Eddie Hensley, if there was an award for, best dressed last night, best dressed.
See, maybe that's what we should have done. We should have been like Joan Rivers. Remember when she used to do the...
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
What not to wear type of thing. Yeah, you're right.
He looked amazing last night. Good. Well done, Ed.
So, and on top of that, we have another horse who was nominated for an O'Brien Award that's in this race, and that's Bella Cavella. She was nominated last night, not a winner, but she's just been such a consistently great horse over the years. And then you have Pam Forgey Superstar, White Tiger, who just keeps doing good things. Once again, I'm going to play against White Tiger, and it's going to hurt me. I know it. Here comes the hurt. White Tiger, Pam's got this horse cracking so well right now. I'm going to throw him in for second. I'm going to go to a horse that I've always been kind of a big fan of, and he's got the ability to control his own destiny. I haven't really seen that from White Tiger yet. He's got big movement on the end of it, but I haven't really seen him, take matters into his own hands, control the pace, and get it done. The horse that we're about to show you in his replay, he can get it done. He's done it here many times before. So let's take a look at the 3-horse Passerino in his last start at London. And this is on a track that it was minus 12 out, and they were giving 3 seconds. And he's a winner by 7 3/4 lengths. Oh, bit of a spoiler there, but look at this with Passerino. And these are the kind of miles that I've always liked him with him. He's in Murner's barn right now, but we've seen him race good out of, I think it was Teddy McDonnell had him for a long time. He raced really, really good for Teddy. He might have been in Shane Arsenal's barn for a while, raced good there, and wow. Look at the mile that look at the world of hurt that he's putting on this field right now. And really looks good out there. Just a real nice horse coming back. Murner's going to come back here with him. The last time that we seen him compete here was in the non-winners of 6,000. He tried a chop, but look at the fractions he set up. Elisa, 26-4, 55 flat, 124, and then he finally gave it up. Hopefully, after taking 3 starts over on the B tracks, he's racing good right now. His confidence is good. Hopefully, he comes back here and doesn't have to go quite those kinds of fractions. But Passerino is the way that I'm going. All right, and the 8th race is how we kick off the final pick 3. There are 10 races for you on tonight's program. The 9th race is our feature race for the night tonight. It's the Open Trot, 40 grand is the pot, and we have a field of 7. No Sid the Kid this week, Randy. He's going to take a little bit of a break, and he's been having some fun in these Opens as of late. He won it on the 11th of January, and he won it back again on January the 18th. But now we start to look at Manoa, who we've showed you the replay of, who's coming up to try the Open Trot here tonight. You get Usain Hanover, who didn't make it to the gate back on January the 18th, and as a result was a refund in that event. You get Mr. Bluebird, who's been fantastic since they switched shoes with him. He's put the flip-flops on, and he's a whole new horse, and he is from the Cullen barn that has been phenomenal in the month of January. So quite a few horses in here that have a great opportunity to win, Randy. Which way did you go?
Which way did you go?
Well, I went to Hasty. I think it's his turn.
Who's driving him?
Well, guess who? Dad.
How do you stay away from Hasty Bid
well,
in here?
I feel like today could be his day. I mean, we've seen some great races from Mr. Bluebird. That's for sure.
Yes.
And he did race very well in the Open last start out. But I just feel like it's Hasty's turn.
Yeah, I mean, as good as Mr. Bluebird is racing there, when Hasty Bid, when he's unable to uncork the last quarter, when he hasn't been used hard, and I can't see him being used hard to get whatever he is that he wants to do in this field of 7. But if he doesn't have to overdo it and then just has to come on the end of it, my goodness, can this guy ever lay it down on the end of it? And I think that that's what's going to get him to the wire. So let's take a look at his last start. Hasty Bid win a couple of starts ago for a few starts back in the Open for James, January the 4th. Then he was kind of involved in a little bit of that interference that we had going on where Chris Jr. ended up getting hurt January the 11th. And then this is his first start back. And I can see James not being too overly cuckoo with this guy. A lot of times when a horse gets involved in something, not that Hasty Bid was really involved. He more or less, his bike wheel was the one that ran over Chris's leg, but he was still kind of involved in it. And I can sort of see James, you know, it's a good idea sometimes to not to give one an easy race the first one back. You know what I mean? Get that confidence going. Nothing bad's going to happen to you, big fella. Just get around and everything's going to be the way that it's always been. You know, there also could have been a point too where maybe they didn't train him very much. You know, it's not one of his better races, but he looks good. And now he's going to come back. He doesn't have to worry about Sid the Kid. Does have to worry about Mr. Bluebird, but Bluebird's on the outside of him. So if James elects to sit on Mr. Bluebird's back, that could work out well. If James elects to chop it and Mr. Bluebird elects to race from off the pace, that could be a problem for Mr. Bluebird.
Well, and this is, you know, and speaking about the incident with Chris Jr., this is where we find safe conduct tonight. So he hasn't raced since that event back on January the 11th. And in my mind, you know, especially, you know, when we're over doing the thoroughbreds at Woodbine and you have a horse that's in an incident where he actually goes down and then he comes back to race again, to me, it's like you're back at the scene of the crime. You just want to get a safe trip. You're not necessarily going as hard as you can. You just want to get them around and give them a nice safe trip so their confidence comes back.
100%. Sometimes it just shakes them up a little bit, same as a person or anything else, you know. Go back to Talladega Nights there. You got to get the mountain lion in the back or the cougar
That's
in the
right.
back seat
Shake
there.
and bake.
Yeah, what was you got to get your, I forget the name.
I can't
that
remember, buddy.
Use that or whatever. But yeah, you got to kind of, you know, let them see it all again. Let them know that nothing bad is going to happen. And, you know, it's just a way to let them know that, you know, this isn't something that happens all the time. So they get it out of their head.
Yep, absolutely. It's just like humans, like you said. It's kind of
Yes.
sitting there, and you just want to get around. Let's go to the 10th race, the last on the program tonight. These are claimers, and they are pacers, and we have... let's see, I had wrote some notes down for this race. For example, we have Exotic Sand, who's going first start off with a claim for Corey Giles. Now, he was claimed back on January the 18th. I believe he was entered to compete last Sunday when we canceled the program. But he was used very, very hard in that January the 18th race, and I think the extra time off might have actually done him well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him go tonight. I do think Kyle Zart from the Barrington barn is the horse to beat. He's just got a tough draw to work with.
Yeah, and dropping out of that tougher 30 to 40. And unfortunately, because of the price that he's in for, the 24, he has to draw the outside. I got him in for third. I agree with you. I think, though, that he's the one to beat. It's just a matter of what Trevor's going to be able to do with him from the 10 hole. He does have good gate leaving ability, but if he gets into too hot of fractions, I don't necessarily think that Kyle's art is cracking good right now. I think he's racing okay, but not like where if he gets into some 54 and 4 half that he has to attack into, I think that it's going to hurt him. So I got him in for third. Now, Exotic Sand, you brought him up. He's an interesting one as well, but I'm a little bit worried over the last week with the last start, you know, the 26 and 1, the 54. I you know, he might be able to just bounce back, no problem, but sometimes there is a bounce, or sometimes, you know, it just takes them a start or two to kind of forget about it, you know. So I'm going to throw him in for second. Let's Get Rocked is how I'm going to go, and we're going to show you the replay of his last race. Now, he races December the 22nd and gets claimed from Rob Fellows, goes into Blake McIntosh's barn, and then he misses some significant time over Christmas, resurfaces in the morning qualifiers January the 12th, so, you know, missed probably 3 weeks there, and then comes back 6 days later. And that's important because if anything you would say when he had the time off, you'd have to be thinking with that vet scratch, not vet scratch.
That he was on the short list?
Short list, vet short list there. You think maybe he's a little bit of second-handed, but he's coming back on a 6-day rotation from the qualifier. That means to me, tells me, and with the 42 starts, whatever was maybe aching him a little bit, Blake found it. So let's take a look at this qualifier. I think great job by McNair. He goes off as the favorite in here. But like I said, he has missed time. I understand why Dougie did what he did. And let's face it, guys, if he goes out of there as the favorite, willy-nilly, look at the fractions they lay down. 26-1, 54-3, 124-3. This horse would have been annihilated. But now, even though, you know, he's only going to get end up with 5th in here, because of the way Dougie raced him, they should capitalize this start right here. Now he can do whatever he wants with him. He wants to go out of there, he can go ahead. He wants to race him the same way, he can go ahead as well. But he's really about the only one other than James with vertical squirt that's got some serious go on the end. Dougie calls it off late, but the horse still keeps going all on his own. I thought that was a good effort for Blake and Doug. Now they're all going to come back. He picks up the 3-hole in here, the same as last week, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the style of racing, Let's Get Rocked, completely changed. So that's the way I'm going.
Speaking of changes. Better on ice. Last time he raced, January the 18th, they changed his hobbles from 56 to 57. It didn't work. He made a break early. And now today they go from from 57 back to 56, right?
Yes, exactly.
So there you go. It was an experiment that just didn't really pan out for him.
You want to hear a good one?
Yeah,
Pat
I do.
Crow told me the one time about Cam Fella that Cam Fella always wore a really, really tight hobble. Like I'm thinking like maybe like 53.5 to 54.5, somewhere in that range. And he would let them out a half an inch and train them, thinking that he's got to be able to wear a longer hobble than this, you know? And he would let them out a half an inch to train them, and that horse would run every single time.
You're kidding.
A half an inch, that horse
made
would
that
know it.
much difference.
Yeah, how smart was he?
Jackpot High Five, you talk about smarty pants. You want to be one if you want to get this tonight, because it comes up for you, obviously, in our last race on the program, and the carryover is growing over $122,000 in that carryover. We've got some picks to pass along your way, some tickets. Jeff and I at Woodbine always play the pick 4, and Jeff has said on numerous occasions that when we write he will write his biography, his autobiography, he's going to call it 3 out of 4, because that's the thing. Now last night, 4 out of 5 for me, and I thought for sure I was sitting on a good one, but Gary. So what have you got tonight for the early pick 5?
Okay, in race number 1, I'm going to go Better Be Going, but I'm going to back him up with Beach Tour. That's where I'm going to go 3-6 in there. Then here comes the singles. Race 2, Pemberton's going to be a single. Race 3, I'm singling Madam X. And then race number 4, hitting the all button in there, down to a field of 8 with the scratch of Forbidden Treasure. I do like All Gas, No Brakes, but you know, I'm not 100% sure if his form is spot on, even though with the big drop down. And then in race number 5, more or less covering myself, Chick Chock Rose, Wild Turkey Hanover, and my top pick will be the 6 Cover Band.
We've got a pick 6 for you too that you've put together, and you decided to hit the all button race number 6, and you do have a few keys.
Yeah, a little different on this one. So in race number 4, I'm going to go JG's Pal and All Gas, No Brakes in there. Race number 5, I'm going to single Cover Band. I'm not bringing in Chick Chock Rose or Wild Turkey Hanover. Then race number 6, I'm going to all this one. My top pick is going to be First Philly Chip, but it's a Fillies and Mares 8,000 condition claimer. It really could go just about anywhere. So I'm going to choose to all that one. Race number 7, Spreading Deep again. I'm using the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 7. I'm leaving off Calling Your Bluff. I'm leaving off TH Allow Me to Lead, and I'm leaving off BJ's Choice from the rail. Then in race number 8, singling Passerino. In race number 9, finishing it off with the single of Hasty Bid.
And the late pick 5 kicks off in race number 6. You've got one of those too.
Oh, yes. Okay, so in race number 6, I'm going to start off with First Philly Chip and Anna's Wish. Anna's Wish, kind of an interesting. I wish you would have had a little bit of a better date. Second start Lasix for her. Big drop down and competition for her as well. So very interesting. She could be dangerous in there, even though her lines don't look it. Race 7, I'm alling this one. Top pick is going to be Wild River Bumblebee, but I'm going to take a chance all that one. And here's the singles. Race number 8, Passerino. Race number 9, Hasty Bid. And race number 10, I'm going to single Let's Get Rocked, who is my worth a look tonight.
Well, I have a late pick 5 I sent in too. So let's see how they compare. So mine's just $2 more than yours.
Okay.
So race number 6, I'm going to use the 4, the 5, and the 6. I want to include Hot Cocoa just because the horse looked good winning. And even Stay Pumped is one that I'm a little bit worried about, so I decided to toss that one in. I've got a key with Hound on the beach in race number 7. 8th race, I'm going to use the 4, the 5, and the 7. I did not use Passerino, so I might be kicking myself for that. 4 and 5, Hasty Bit and Mr. Bluebird, just in case the Cullens decide to pop up with another one. And in the 10th race, I'm going to single the 10, Kyle Zart, who's on the drop here tonight. We've got plays of the night to pass along your way as well. And I think last night our plays did pretty good.
Yes, yes, they did do very, very well. Yours especially. You were what, 3 for 4?
Yeah, but they were kind of chalky.
Wow.
But hey, at least
listen,
they came in.
You got to do what you got to do,
You
right?
got it.
Okay, so I'm going to start this off in race number 1. That's going to be Better Be Going is my all-in bet tonight. And then in race number 2, it's going to be Pemberton. So a lot of my plays of the night is going to be dependent on James McDonald, it looks like. First Billy Chip is going to be Beat the Favorite in race number 6 for Mitch Tierney on a stale date, but I do like her in that class. And Worth a Look, we showed you the replay on him. That is going to be my Let's Get Rocked. But you're going to have to stick around for the last race for that one.
All right, let's see what I got. So I got Better Be Going, ready off the rest in the opener on the program, and I'm feeling pretty good about that now because Mr. Court's won a few races the last couple of days. Girl Power with Madam X, why not? Hound on the Beach, I think this one is a possible repeater, and Drop and Pop for Kyle Zart in race number 10. So we both have plays of the night that'll be in the 10th race on tonight's card. Want to remind everybody, too, about plays of the night for Kevin Plaucha. He's got Victor Invictus at 6-1. Anna's Wish 3-1 for Ghislaine, and Garnet's got Outlaw Gran Torino at 4-1 in race number 7. Okay, what else? Stakes. Well, we were talking about this last night. It's a sure sign that hopefully spring is approaching because nominations are closing for some big, big races on February the 15th. Those noms will close for all of these massive stakes events, not only races that we have here, but the Dravinsky at Flamborough as well.
Yeah, no, it's nice time, you know, you just dream, and then sooner or later, it is here.
Yeah.
We've done that so many times, right?
I know.
Think about it, and then boom, it's here.
I
And then
know.
you're right in the mix of it and the whole deal. I heard that it's supposed to be a cloudy day tomorrow in Wyerton.
Oh, for the groundhog tomorrow.
Yes. For
Okay,
the
wait,
for the
you
weather
gotta
pig.
explain that to me again. So if he doesn't see a shadow, what's that mean?
If he doesn't see a shadow, I think winter's over. If he sees a shadow, he runs back down into his hole, and it's another 6 weeks of winter.
Oh.
So the weather pig, please,
Be nice.
somebody in Wyerton, go out there with a parasol or an umbrella, hold it over the weather pig so he doesn't see a shadow, and we can call this winter off.
You know, normally, like when I was a kid growing up, you saw a groundhog in the field, you took a shotgun.
Darn right. That's right. Darn right.
And this one might get it if he doesn't give us a good
That's
early
right,
spring.
yeah. Bill Murray didn't like groundhogs
No,
either.
he didn't either. I'm all right.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Alrighty, 10 races in store for you tonight here from Woodbine Mohawk Park, including an open trot that'll come up as race number 9. Good luck with your selections this evening. The opener comes up shortly.
Menace to the golfing world.